Good Shabbos again, everyone. And as we celebrate grandparents' Shabbat this evening, I want to share the following story. The story is told centuries ago that a grandfather and his small grandson were taking a trip into a village. And the grandfather started off letting the grandson ride their donkey. He was walking alongside. Someone passed by and said, "Look at that selfish little boy making that old man walk." So he took his grandson off the donkey and put him on the ground, and he got on the donkey. The boy was walking alongside. Somebody passed by and said, "Look at that man making that little boy walk while he rides." So he picked the grandson up and got on the donkey with him. A few minutes later, someone passed and said, "How cruel of the two of you to place your heavy load on that donkey." By the time they got to the village, the grandfather and grandson were carrying the donkey. Yes, it's not always easy spending time with our precious grandchildren. We may tell ourselves, "I just can't do it. I have so many aches and pains. Maybe I should just go home and rest." Or they're so busy, our grandchildren. Do they really want to spend time with me? Or we come from such different generations. Times are so different today. How can I relate? I look so stupid trying to connect. Sometimes we may feel that we look as stupid as carrying a donkey. No, it's not easy. But I assure you, as one of your rabbis this evening, that it's worth all the time. That your grandchildren, no matter how you may feel at times, do want to spend time with you. One of the great honors I have as a rabbi is to lay people to rest. And when I meet with the family to prepare a eulogy, within just a few moments, I can quickly tell how involved a grandfather or grandfather was. I can tell by the stories the grandchildren tell, by the words of inspiration they shared that they learned from their grandparents, by the memories that they have. No, the grandfathers and the grandmothers, they didn't always do it right. There is no perfect way. They made mistakes, sometimes many mistakes. But none of that matters as long as they tried their best to just spend time with a grandson or a granddaughter. Our Torah portion of Hayei Sarah, the life of Sarah, opens up in a very unusual way. We'll read tomorrow that Sarah, our first mother, lifetime was 100 years, 20 years, and 7 years. The years of Sarah's life. Why not just say 127? Why does the Torah need to say 100 years, 20 years, and 7 years? The Midrash gives us an answer. It says that Sarah retained the innocence of a 7-year-old when she was 20, the beauty of a 20-year-old when she was 100. In other words, she stayed young at heart. No matter her age, she was able to relate to those younger than herself because she gave it her best effort. Yes, spending quality time with our grandchildren on their level is what it's all about. You don't have to do it correctly. Just give it your best effort. And looking at that same verse, Rashi states that the repetition of the years indicates that Sarah's entire life, all her years, were equally good. For those who are blessed to have grandchildren, do spend time with them as you are doing this evening. They can help all of your years become equally good. And so now, all of our grandparents that are here this evening, I invite you to gather up your grandsons and your granddaughters that may be here with you this evening, and let's give them the traditional blessings of our people. Interestingly enough, the blessings come from one of the first grandfathers of the Torah, Jacob, as he blesses his grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh. And so first, as we gather up our grandsons, we place our hands on their heads, and we say to them, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim ke'Manasseh. May God bless our grandsons like Ephraim and Manasseh and all the good grandsons of our tradition, and give them a kiss and hug, and let us say Amen. And for our granddaughters, as we gather them up, we place our hands on their head and we say, Yisimech Elohim Kasara, Rivka, Rachel, Valeah. May God bless our granddaughters like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, and all the wonderful granddaughters of our tradition, and give them a hug and a kiss. And for all of our precious grandchildren this evening, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yuneka, Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always bless and keep them. May God always show his favor and be gracious to them. May God show all of them kindness and give them that great blessing, a life of shalom, a life of peace. And let us say, Amen. And now let's return to our service as we rise for the